What if you could transform the choices you make and unlock your business potential? Every decision you make has the power to shift your path. You have the ability to make inspired choices that drive growth and sales. Get ready to tap into the innovative power within you. Now, here's your host of Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
If money wasn't an issue, what would you choose? That's a question I often ask my clients. Hi, everyone. I am Christine McIver. I'm host of the Inspired Choices Business for Business Growth show, and we are on Inspired Choices Network. So if you're listening or watching from anywhere else and you want to ask a question, come on over to inspiredchoices.com, inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, and join us in the chat room where you can ask your questions directly, and I'd be happy to answer them for you. So today we are talking all about how to grow your business with no money. Imagine being able to grow your business with no money. Before we get into that show, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am and why I have the ability to talk about this topic tonight. So I am a business optimization expert. I'm also the CEO of Inspired Choices Network, ICN Publishing, Podcast to Bookshelf Services, and so much more. What we do with ICN is we really elevate your expertise. We amplify what it is that you're an expert in so that the people that are looking for you can find you. What I do is I work with business owners. I work with all of our hosts, our summit hosts, our individuals that want to turn their podcast into a book. And I really look at what they can be doing to really optimize their creations so that they can grow their businesses and grow their expertise so that more opportunities come to them. I've been in business now for 17 years. I've had my own podcast now since 2011. So I guess that's 14 years. And I love talking business. It's one of the most favorite things that I do in my life. And it's something that I played as a little girl. This was the thing that I did when I was a little girl. I didn't play with dolls very often. I played business. So if you're looking for someone to support you, to help you really refine what it is that you're doing, to help you grow your business, elevate your expertise, and amplify your exposure, do hit me up, Christine at christinemciver.com, or my website, christinemciver.com, or on any social media platform. You can find me, especially you can find me in this show. If you're listening, my contact information is right there. So let's get into tonight's show, because so many people, when I'm talking to clients, when I'm just even listening to other entrepreneurs, the conversation goes to money. We're always like, well, I can't do that because I don't have the money, or they're worrying about money. They're trying to figure out how to make more money. And there's so many things, so many times that I think about what it is, what could I be doing so that I can grow my business. That's been my focus. That's most people's focuses, is how we can grow our businesses. And we miss, in my interesting point of view, in my professional opinion, we miss a lot of opportunities around how to actually grow our businesses with little or no money. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let me just read the show notes to you so we can get this lifted off. All right. So what if lack of money wasn't the thing holding you back in your business? Tonight, we're going to uncover practical, creative, and often overlooked ways to grow our businesses without dipping into our wallet. I'm going to challenge the common belief that financial resources are the only pathway to success, and share how you can leverage resourcefulness, relationships, mindset, and strategy to create momentum even when money feels tight. Whether you're a startup entrepreneur, seasoned business owner, or simply curious, we're going to jump into so many things. We're going to be talking about the biggest myths about needing money to grow a business, strategies you can implement today that don't cost a dime, how to maximize free resources and existing assets, why mindset and creativity can be more powerful than capital, and inspired questions to guide your business move, your next business move. Oh my gosh, my brain is going so fast right now. I got to try to break it all down. So let's start with, first of all, let's talk about the biggest myths about needing money to grow money. I can remember my father was in his own business. You've heard me talk about my dad before. He had a construction business, and he always said you need money to make money, right? And you do need to invest in your business in order to grow your business, to have more money come from your business. Those things are true, but they're not the only things. I know a lot of people that their first thought about when they want to start their own business is they believe they need to go to the bank to get a loan. They can't start. I've actually talked to people that said, well, I can't start until I go to the bank and get a bank loan. That is absolutely not true. How many of you business owners out there right now say can testify to this? You can put your hand up and say, I started my own business and I certainly didn't get a bank loan. Nobody invested in my business but me. Now, sure, some people might say, well, it would be easier if I had a pile of money, maybe $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. If I had that money ahead, that would help me to invest in my business and grow my business. Okay, but what if you're focusing on the wrong thing? Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't focus on money, but money should be a result. Money should not be the thing that you are focusing on. When money is the number one thing that you're focusing on, I can tell you right now, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and you're going to miss a ton of opportunities. You know, when you walk into a store, this is just a really short little example. You know, when you walk into a store and somebody says, can I help you? And they've got the energy of, I'm on commission, right? Or you know, when you walk into a store and somebody says, is there anything I can help you with? It's a very completely different energy. They are genuinely there to support you and offer assistance if needed. You as a business owner, you come across with those same types of energies. There's so many of us now are working from home. We have a home, we work out of our own homes. We have an online business, maybe we're even working in offices, but we're communicating primarily and our business is primarily online. When you're meeting someone online, you're networking online, you're in networking communities online, people can pick up those same energies and the words that you are using, even the emotions behind those words will send a message to your prospective clients. It's so critical that we are focusing on the right thing. Now, let me be super clear. Money is an important piece of being in your own business. It is a very, very important piece, but it should not be the piece that comes prior to creating products or services or creating connections and relationships. Without the creativity coming first, the money will not be there. You will push people away, you will turn people off, and you will get incredibly frustrated because you will not be creating what it is that you desire, and it certainly won't be something that is sustainable. Now, on the other hand, I know a lot of people that want to do business and don't even want to pay attention to the money. And I'm like, absolutely not. So we're going to be talking about that tonight for sure. You need to have your eye on your financial statements. You need to know what is going out and what is coming in. You need to have a healthy relationship with your business, and you need to have a healthy relationship with your invoicing, with your expenses, with your assets. You need to understand this thoroughly, or you're going to be losing money left, right, and center. All right. This is just the beginning of what I want you to start to pay attention to. The myth that you need money in order to start a business is really that it's a myth. What it is it's a choice. It's a choice. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to have money to start a business. You do need resources. You do need to have ambition. You do need to have a desire to succeed. Absolutely. But you do not need to have money, at least not not thousands and thousands of dollars to start a business, at least for sure a service business. If you are in a product business, yes, you would probably need more money. a service business, if you're doing your business online, then you would definitely need to have equipment. And most of us today, that's why most of us can start a home business, is because we have the equipment. We have a good computer. We have an area where we can focus and do our business. Even if that's your dining room table, that's okay. All right. So those are important things to start with. Now let's talk about some strategies you can start to implement that don't cost a dime. And this is super important. Now, in about 5 minutes, we're going to come up to our first commercial break. But we're going to get started right now. But it is definitely going to flow over into the next segment. Okay. One of the biggest errors that I see people making is they're running and they're chasing the almighty dollar. They're chasing their next customer. They're chasing their next sale. And when I say chasing, it's like that's the only direction that they are focusing in, is the next sale, the next sale, the next sale. And they are not taking time to work in their business. They're not looking at their numbers. They are absolutely just thinking, I'll get to it later. I'll get to it later. It's like, when at tax time, most people have not looked at their bank statements. They have not looked at their expenses. They haven't even, gotten their receipts in order. They don't have any kind of system month to month. They leave it to the very last minute, which makes it a mountain of a job that they detest doing. And they do it once a year. And then when they do it, they just want to get it over with. They don't actually have a strategy with their finances. How many of you do not have a strategy with your finances? A few? Most? I would say the majority is probably 60 to 70% do not have a strategy with their finances. So this is one of the ways that you can grow your business. Here is a very simple thing that you can do. I want you to sit down and I want you to carve out time to be an employee. I want you to put your accounting hat on as the CEO. I want you to put your accounting hat on and I want you to sit down, carve out at least 3 hours. The first time you're doing this, at least 3 hours, no interruptions, just hunker down with this and list out all of your expenses for every month this year. Okay. Do an Excel spreadsheet, have a tab for each month, and start to list out all of your expenses. You're going to have to go back through your bank statements. You're going to have to go back through your receipts. This is going to be a big positive investment in your business. And what you want to do is you want to list out all of your expenses, and then you want to also list out your revenue. So most of us just want to pay attention to what's left in the pocket, right? Pocketbook, bank account. All right. If you're only looking there, you're missing money. There's money in the expenses. So what you want to do is you want to sit and you want to look at and you want to educate yourself on all of your expenses. All right. List them all out month after month after month after month. Now this is being recorded in September of 2025. So you are going to have 8 to 9 months worth of expenses that you have paid out. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go and look and watch those expenses. Watch the totals, right? The total of all of those expenses month after month. What do you notice? What are you noticing about that? Is the amount going up? Is the bottom line the amount going up? If it is, what did you add? When did you add it? Are the totals or the individualized expenses for each item, are they going up? Were you aware that they were going up? Have you been paying attention? Because we have so much stuff on automatic and we just let it go and we don't pay attention. There's a commercial out right now. It's the most ridiculous thing. It's specifically about this, that we have things on subscriptions and they just get paid and somebody had moved and somebody came over to deliver diapers that have been on subscription that kept getting delivered to their old address, ended up with thousands of diapers, and the baby walked out of the house going into grade 9. That's very extreme, but it made such a powerful point. We don't pay attention. We need to list these expenses. We need to look at these expenses. And right after the break, I'm going to tell you a big reason why we need to look at these expenses. All right, my friends, you are listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back after this break.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@ChristineMcIver.com. Now, back to the program.
Yes, let's get back to it. We're talking all about how to grow your business with no money. Now, if you're somebody who is struggling and you need more support, put your hand up. Send me an email, Christine@ChristineMcIver.com. Let's have a conversation. Let's see if working together would be a fit, and then let's make this happen. Let's change it so that your business starts to grow money for you and you start to enjoy your business. There's no value in hiding from needing support. Absolutely not. I know that as soon as I started to hire coaches, my business changed exponentially, and I continue to hire coaches. A good coach should have a coach. So if you're hiring somebody, ask them if they have their own coach. All right. In our first segment, we talked about you miss a lot of opportunities to grow your business without money. We talked about how money should be a result, not the thing you're focusing on to start, and that people focus on chasing the next sale more and not working in their business. So I was talking about one of the exercises I really strongly suggest, and I do this with every client when we begin to work together, is to go through and list out all of your expenses. List out every expense for the entire year, one tab for each month. Go through and really pay attention. Ask some questions. Now, the very first thing that I said is I want you to, first of all, look at the differences between each month, look at the totals, look at the individual expense items. Where are the changes that you're seeing? This is the next step. Then I want you to go through and I want you to highlight the expenses you are paying for, consciously or unconsciously paying for, that you are not utilizing. What item, what asset did you add to your business, which is an expense, right? What did you add to your business? You know, it might be some small service. Maybe you decided you were going to use something like, you know, a video program that assists in you cutting videos, or maybe you wanted to some type of service, right? We have so many of those. I know that I go through and look at this constantly. What are those services that you have expensed on your expense sheet that you are not utilizing? Highlight those things. That doesn't mean you're going to get rid of them, but highlight them, okay? Once you've gone through every month and you've highlighted those items that you're not using, add that money up. Add that money up. And then just for shits and giggles, ask yourself, how many years have I been paying for this and I haven't been using it, right? And imagine if you continued to pay for that over the next 10 years, how much money would that be? I can tell you that this should be a must have for every single business owner to be doing at least annually, if not quarterly. We are sending money out, $10 here, $20 here, $30 here, and we are losing money. We are losing money. It's like having a hole in your pocket and that quarter just slips out and the quarter slips out, right? This little bit of money is going out. Now, it may not sound like a lot, $10, but we've got $10 going out every single month. So that's $120 in a year for one item. What if you have 10 of those items, right? That's $1,200. Well, on top of that, you might also be paying taxes on top of that. Then you pay for a bookkeeper to process that expense receipt every single month. On top of that, you have an accountant do your accounting at the end of the year. You pay them to process, how much they have to do in your business to process your books costs you money. So that $10 adds up over and over and over again, okay? If you have 1 or 5 of those items over a year that you reduce, that you remove, first of all, you're going to have a stronger knowledge about your money going out. When you go to make a business decision on whether you're going to add a new service to your business, you're going to think twice about this because of this specific exercise. That right away is likely to save you money or have you make a better purchase choice. The second thing is that you're going to have that money, whether it's $120, it's $1,200, it's $1,500, you're going to have an additional $1,500 in your bank account. Now, if you're investing any of your money from your business, that investment can then be creating interest so that your money is growing for you. Or what if you had that extra $1,500 a year and you needed to purchase a new piece of equipment for your business? If you needed to have a larger amount of cash on hand, that would give you that opportunity. So that means you're not needing another sale, but you're working smart with the money that you have, right? You're missing opportunities in your own business if you are not educating yourself on your financials every single month. You need to be looking at your financials. You need to be aware of what's going out and what's coming in. You need to also, and I know that this is going to annoy some people, but you also need to be on top of your billing. Your billing needs to be done as soon as somebody books with you, as soon as they hire you. Or if you have a different type of deal, you need to be sending that invoice to them 48 hours in advance of due date minimum. Minimum. When that money is in their bank account making interest instead of in your bank account and making interest, you're losing money. It takes you no money to invoice someone on time. And you know what else it does? It increases your value of you and your self-worth. It increases your confidence. When you are requesting money from someone, when you're billing someone, you're saying to yourself, yes, this is what is owed to me, and I have provided or am providing something of value that absolutely deserves to be paid for, right? We all have a relationship with money, and most of us struggle with that relationship with money. Changing your mindset, changing the programming around money and your relationship with money can grow your business exponentially. I have talked about this many, many times, but having a very clear view of what you bring to the table and really understanding the value of that you will oftentimes start to change your prices so that they really are truly in alignment with what you are bringing to the table. Again, most of us have a problem with billing people, with charging the right amount of money. I don't mean you go and double all your prices, but what you want to do is really look at, okay, are my prices in alignment, or have these been the same prices for the last 5 years? Have I grown my my knowledge? Have I grown the service that I offer, but my prices have stayed the same? You want to start to ask some of these strong, hard questions and start to pay attention to what's coming up for you. If you have a lot of resistance around this, if you are really questioning, oh my gosh, and you're getting uncomfortable with this, I'm glad, because that in and of itself is going to tell you it's time to have a big conversation around your value and around your pricing. Those things that I've just mentioned so far will grow your business. You will have more money. And I haven't once talked about another service, another joining another group, or taking another course. I am talking about being in your business and paying attention to how you have structured it and how you function within your business. You have to be your own accountant in your business. You really, really do. And I have bookkeepers, I have accountants, but I don't just hand it all to them and ignore it. I am paying attention constantly to what is going on in my business, what's happening in my bank account, the expenses that are going out. I allocate for every single solitary thing. That's my responsibility. I'm the CEO of my business. Do I need more education from my bookkeepers and my accountants? Yes, but absolutely need to be consciously aware all of the time on what's going out and what should be coming in. Absolutely. I need to be making smart decisions to support myself in my business and to support my team. I've hired people to be part of my team, and I have a responsibility to hold up what I've offered them. And I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to contribute to them because they contribute to me. If you're not paying attention to your numbers, that could really mess things up, and you might have to let people go in your team. You don't want to do that because they make you look good. So it's very important you pay attention to your numbers. All right. The next thing, how to maximize free resources and existing assets. So let's go back to that expense sheet. How many of those expenses, hold on one second. This is what happens when you talk a lot. You get dry throat. How many of those expenses that you really do want to use, that you've been paying for it, that you've forgotten you've purchased? How many of those expenses are you thinking, oh my gosh, you know what? That would be perfect right now for this new project that I'm working on. That would be perfect that I could educate, or I could hand this over to somebody else on the team that they could utilize this resource better than I have. You're already paying for it. You're not putting any more money out, but you've got resources that are basically in the closet. Bring them out of the closet. Relook at those assets. How can they contribute to your business? And who can assist you in ensuring that those can contribute to your business? We have things that we're paying for, we're not paying attention to. This is huge. And you might also want to look at, okay, I am using those assets, but perhaps they've changed, right? How many services do we pay for that they then bring more value to what we are receiving, but we're not paying attention to it, right? We oftentimes will have service providers will add things. They want to bring more value so they can attract more customers, but they sometimes maybe don't communicate with us, or we don't pay attention to their up levels. And I don't mean additional expenses. I mean new ways that you can do things that would grow your business, that would be a bigger asset to your business. Have you investigated lately what those services are that you're paying for, what they can do for your business and grow your business? That's a big, big thing. So far we've just looked at the expenses in your business and how to truly evaluate them. Some other free resources. There are a lot of free resources online that we can educate ourselves about when we need some expanding of our business. There might be new ways to maybe do social media. Maybe there's some free resources that you can learn, some new skill sets, or you can have somebody in your team learn some new resources, some new processes for your business, right? If you have team members that are accessing free resources, you look at YouTube, you look at a lot of different sites where they are offering free information. You can be utilizing those offers and pay attention. Not all free is bad. Some of it sure is a lead to have you hire them. You don't necessarily need to hire them, but I would say don't ignore them as well. So, allowing yourself to receive from what's being offered out there is a great way for you to up the value of your knowledge base and what you bring to the table, and perhaps resources that your team can utilize and you can utilize to help you go through some systems a little bit faster, have a different structure set up in your business to really make things work for you, right? It's not always you needing to invest in the next thing or work for somebody else, but what are these resources that you can be utilizing that can work for you? Everybody's talking about AI, and I'll be honest, I've been resistant to AI. Over the last 6 months, I have been expanding my point of view about it, and I've been looking at, okay, what could I possibly do with this? How could this be utilized? My resistance to this is that people are going to ignore their own brain, and they are going to start to rely on a system as opposed to expand their own knowledge. But when you use it as a tool to assist you in perhaps creating processes faster, that's going to save you money. And you can get those AI tools out there at no additional expense. There's a free resource that you can utilize. You don't always have to purchase the plans that are more expensive. What if you just tried it for a couple of months, the free plans, and looked at whether it is an asset or whether you do need to invest some money in this? Again, this is about expanding your knowledge focused on your business, your systems, your structure, your expenses, what is going on inside of your business that can grow your business. All of these assets and this expense knowledge grows your business, because at the end of the day, what is going out can end up being quite a bit less than originally. All right, my friends, I'm blowing by the break. We're going to stop now for our next break. You are listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@ChristineMcIver.com. Now, back to the program.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Yes, you are listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I am the host, Christine McIver, and we are on the Inspired Choices Network. Now, tonight we're talking about how to grow your business with no money. Before we jump into that, I want to let you know about, first of all, about my book. It is called CEO Without Apology. And in here, I give practical information in each of the chapters on what you can do in your business from a task perspective, but also from a mindset perspective on every one of these chapters that will start to change things in your business. You can read one chapter and you will have so much information you can work with. This is definitely a guide to becoming a CEO. Absolutely 100%. And if you already are, becoming a CEO without apology. So you can really take bold steps for yourself. One of the services that I offer is called a CEO reality check, a business audit and alignment session. Now, that session alone will certainly start to get you focused in on everything that we're talking about tonight. And it's a 90-minute session. We really power through things very, very quickly. You get a personalized CEO snapshot report from me, and it is something that you can invest in for yourself, for your business, but really walk away with a business optimization mindset on how you can optimize your business and really a plan going forward. And if you choose to go forward with that, you also get a credit for our next program. If that's something that you're interested in, go over to ChristineMcIver.com, check out the services, send me an email, let's have a conversation. You know, we invest so much time and hope and money in our businesses. Why not be investing in ways that will grow your business quickly and easily, and certainly something that you can have more pleasure with? So I wanted to share that with you. Now let's get back into today's show, how to grow your business with no money. All right, I'm going to touch on a subject that people will probably turn off their minds when I start talking about this. I am so passionate about this, it's not even funny. We're going to talk about the main resource that every person is using that's in their own business today. Do you know what that resource is? That resource is email. We are going to talk about how you operate within your business email can make you money, or it can actually cost you money. I have gotten so passionate about this. I get so frustrated listening to people and hearing people's excuses every single solitary day, always referring to their emails, that it just drives me crazy. I actually wanted to put out a post on, on social media saying, stop using email. The reason I say stop using email is because most people don't know how to use email correctly. This is what I was thinking about. If you had let's say you were a carpenter and you had a workshop and you had all of these different tools and you had different projects going on and you couldn't find the right tool in your to work on a piece of furniture, and you were having to search and search and search, and finally you couldn't find it, and then you had to go buy another one, or you were walking around within your workshop and it was so messy and disorganized that you tripped and you hurt yourself, or the floor was such a disgusting mess when customers came in, they didn't want to have anything to do with you, you would be losing money left, right, and center. I want you to think about that picture when I talk about emails. This is what's going on in emails. People's inboxes are so flooded with crap and so disorganized that they are missing opportunities left, right, and center. When you don't respond to emails in a timely manner, or you're giving people's excuses like, oh, sorry, it was in spam. Like, okay, can we just get to the point? Spam is a folder that the computer decides something should go in there. That is a folder beside your inbox that you should be checking every single solitary day. Every day. Stop giving this excuse like it's not important, I don't look there. Go look there. Systems change, and suddenly somebody that used to jump into your inbox might end up in your spam folder. That has nothing to do with that person, but it certainly has a lot to do with your relationship with that person, and that could destroy parts of your business or your business relationships. Pay attention to this, please. Now, if you have more, this is my interesting point of view. If you have more than 100 emails in your inbox, you have a problem. And I'll tell you why. Because you cannot possibly be working with customers, be creating new items for your business, be advertising your business, doing the marketing, helping your team, paying attention to your numbers, doing your financial reviews, connecting with your customers or your clients, doing all of the networking, and be on top of 100 emails and know exactly what you need to do with each of those emails. Each of those emails needs to be treated as if it is a project in your workshop. All right. What am I doing with this? Where does this need to be? Does that need to be hung up over there? Does that need to be stored for later? That's what you should be doing every single day with your emails. Emails get lost. They are like needles in a haystack, and you miss opportunities. If you have a client that is sending you an email, or a prospective client that's sending you an email, and you are not responding in a timely manner, you know what's going to happen? They're going to go find somebody else that is willing to serve them in a timely manner. Stop screwing around with your emails. I'm sorry, I'm really turned on by this one. It really gets me going because I cannot understand it. I mean, if you don't identify with the workshop, identify with your kitchen. If you have crap all over the place, how are you going to function and have it be sanitized and be able to find the tools that you need to find? People take emails like as if they're just strolling through it. Oh, that looks interesting and that looks interesting. And they just keep grabbing all this stuff. It's like people that go to the dollar store every week and they just grab crap, grab crap, grab crap. Oh, it's only a little bit of money. And they end up with so much crap in their house that they want to move because they have so much crap. But it's like your crap's going to follow you. Your behavior in email speaks volumes about how you are operating in business. You're missing opportunities. You're missing times to be efficient. You need to get organized. You need to be organized so you can respond in a timely manner, so that you don't feel overwhelmed by your emails, that you don't avoid parts of your business. You need to be organized so that you can bill people on time, so that you can go to a networking event and feel confident and relaxed and have your nervous system calm so you can be present and you can present the best of who you are because you are organized. You're not worrying about, oh my gosh, am I missing something? Oh my gosh, like this person got really mad at me because I didn't respond in time. You don't need to have that extra pressure. If you have more than 100 emails, I beg you to please carve out time every single day to start cutting that down. One of the most important things you need to do is unsubscribe from a crap load of emails. Too many of you have too many things that you're getting emails for that you're not reading, and you think, I'll look at them later. I'll look at them later. If you seriously won't give them up, create a subfolder and put them in there. Things that are in your inbox are things that you should be taking action on, and things that you have not yet, that you no longer need to deal with. All right. If you like to read different articles, put them in a subfolder and then spend some time, maybe on a weekend or whatever, to look at them, read them, and then delete them. All right. Not only will you be more efficient and more knowledgeable in what's really coming in and out of your inbox, but you will also save space on your computer. And nobody wants their computer going down. Nobody wants their computer, crashing. And you certainly don't want to pay for extra storage. Or what about even when you need to go find an email and you can't because there's so much crap in your inbox? This is a real thing. I have worked with people and helped them to clean up things, get things organized. It's okay if you don't know how, and it's okay if you feel overwhelmed, but are you asking for help? Have you reached out to someone and said, listen, I really suck at this. Can you please help me? It's okay. You as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you don't come to the table with every gift for every role that you need to have as a CEO. But you need to ask for help, you need to hire someone, or you need to be willing to learn some new skills. You don't have to do it all. And I certainly don't agree that you have to be so independent that you are buried under tasks. That doesn't work either. I used to do that, I know. But you definitely do need to get organized, and your email is costing you money. If people are sending you opportunities and you don't have time to respond to them, there's money walking out the door. There's publicity walking out the door. There's new connections walking out the door. if you are involved in something, let's say you have a speaking opportunity and they are sending you vital information about that speaking opportunity, you may lose that opportunity because you're not responding in a timely manner. These things are critical and they cost you nothing. Yes, they cost you time. And of course, time is money. But if you would be willing to slow down, to get organized and cleaned up, I am telling you, your nervous system is going to feel fantastic. You're going to wake up and you're going to look at your inbox and you're going to be like, oh, I can see what's going on. I understand everything. And I don't have to spend so much time being nervous about searching for something. I have watched people do this and it makes me wildly crazy. I'm telling you, I had a boss and she was pretty amazing at her email, but she had thousands in her inbox. She did have recall, amazing recall, but do you know what that did to her nervous system? Because you're on the edge. You're always in fight or flight. An entrepreneur is not going to succeed if they are constantly in fight or flight. You're not going to be present with your clients and your customers, and you're certainly going to miss opportunities to make more money. And this is the big one. When you're in fight or flight, your creativity is not able to come in. And if you are looking to grow your business with your great business ideas, you've got to have a calm nervous system. Now, everybody and their brother is talking about nervous system, but it's true. I'm not going to teach you about nervous system. I teach my private clients that. I'm not going to teach it on here, but it is very important to understand the connection between having a calm nervous system and growing your business. All right, we are up to our next break of the show. Do stick around. I still got a little bit more for you. We'll wrap it all up when we get back. You're listening to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
What if every business decision you made was aligned with a clear vision for your future success? Imagine the impact on your growth and profitability. On Inspired Choices for Business Growth, business optimization expert Christine McIver challenges you to focus your decisions on the bigger picture, helping you align your actions with the future you want for your business and yourself. With her expert insights and no-holds-barred approach, Christine guides you to optimize your business strategies for sustained growth and success. Ready to make choices that drive your business forward? Tune in now to start shaping your future today.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Inspired Choices for Business Growth with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine at christinemciver.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. We are talking about how to grow your business with no money. Now, if you were listening to the last segment, I got a little turned up. See, it's giving me thumbs up. I got a little passionate about talking about emails. And I thought, oh, maybe I should apologize. No, I'm not going to apologize. Sometimes every one of us needs a swift kick in the backside to get going. You know, we can get lost in details. We can get lost in emotions. I can more than anybody else. We can get lost in all the to-dos and then we go into freeze. You've got to, at some point, come out of that and you got to get real with yourself. You got to get clear with yourself. What do you need to be doing as the CEO of your business that's going to change things? And seriously, every task that I've talked about tonight, every little piece It requires no money, but it will absolutely grow your business and it'll grow you as a CEO. And that in and of itself is going to change your business. Remember, I always say, your business grows to the level that you grow yourself. If you're not constantly looking at your actions and your knowledge and your mindset and getting clear about that, you're not going to grow your business anymore. If you are having challenges, if you are struggling with different things in your mindset, your belief systems, your attitude, you need to invest in changing that. You deserve to be super successful, extremely profitable, very, very happy. And you can be, but it requires you investing in yourself and in tonight's show, investing in your business, investing your knowledge and growing it and taking those tasks that you need to be taking. Now, before we wrap up the final part of tonight's show, if you are enjoying this, or if you know of, and if you know of others who need to hear this information, you can share the link. And if you would please go over to iTunes and give me a 5-star review, just search for Inspired Choices for Business Growth. Give me a 5-star review. Even write out what you thought about the show. I would be incredibly grateful. It makes a huge difference. When you give reviews, it makes a huge difference to allow that business, to allow my show to be seen and heard by more people. This is what I love to do, and I don't apologize for asking for your support. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay, let's jump back in. Oh, and next week, the show is called True Stability is the Entrepreneur's Advantage. I'm not going to give away anything on that. I'm looking forward to sharing that show with you. All right. The next thing that I want to do is I want you to really look at, we're going to talk about your mindset, right? So we've been talking about actions, and all of these steps are very important. But your mind is your mindset, and your mindset around money, your mindset around business, your mindset around you as the entrepreneur is really critical. I want you to ask some very important questions. So the first question I want you to ask is, what's one thing I've been avoiding in growing myself as the business owner? What is one thing that I've been avoiding that would grow me as the entrepreneur? And just allow the question to just sit out there and get the information to come in at any time. Pay attention to those little nudges. All right. Not from a perspective of watching what everybody else is doing and trying to jump on the train and have fear of missing out on something. FOMO is such crap. All right. Stay present with yourself, stay present with your business, but ask that question. Another great question to ask is, if money wasn't an issue, what would I try right now? Right? A lot of us use the excuse of, I don't have money, but there is a lot of opportunities out there that doesn't require an investment in something. All right. Yes, their investments are fabulous. We can talk about that at another show, but there's lots of opportunities that you have that doesn't require investing money. One of the biggest things is investing in relationships. Are you part of a community? Are you part of a network? Is there a meeting that you could consistently show up to and invest some time and money, have conversations with other people, allow people to get to know you, refer people to other people so that you become a valued partner in the community? These are things that take time, but they grow you. And that doesn't require any more money. If you're already part of a community, that doesn't require any more money. You know other people in business. You can be doing this without even paying to be part of a community. Again, look at your resources. Look at the opportunities that are coming to you. Allow yourself space and time to evaluate your business, evaluate what you're doing with your money, and evaluate your time. How much time are you spending on constantly tweaking your website and tweaking your website and tweaking your website and tweaking your website? nobody is sitting there going through your website 100,000 times. Sometimes we use that as an avoidance. I get it. We all have done that. Everything I've shared with you tonight, my friends, requires no financial investment, but is critical in the financial future of your business. Again, reach out to me, Christine at christinemciver.com. Send me an email. Check out my website. I strongly encourage you to grab this book, CEO Without Apology. You get lots of free resources. And until next week, remember, you can always make another choice.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired Choices for Business Growth. Christine McIver will be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Be sure to join us again for you and your business. Until then, remember to make the choices that align with your true desires. This is your business, and it's time to create the future you truly want.